Welcome to Beyond the Bizarre, a podcast curated to all things, well, bizarre. My name is Brianna, and I will be sharing with you urban legends, lore, ghost stories, and more from around our planet. Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to Beyond the Bizarre. This is Brianna. I'm glad to have you guys back on another week here with us on a new month, the month of September. So, as I stated last episode, this month we're doing rituals for each episode. So, tonight we will have another ritual that I'm going to share with you all. Prior to sharing the ritual with you all, I do want to say that the ritual does contain elements of horror that may be unsuitable for children under the age of 13. For children under the age of 13, please seek parental permission before listening or listen with your parent or guardian. Listener discretion advised as always. So, on the ritual we're going to share tonight, this ritual takes us on a trip to another world or the other side. The ritual we're going to share with you is a game known as the Black Telephone Game. So, some of you may or may not know that Thomas Edison once attempted to invent a spirit telephone, which would allow people to directly communicate with the dead. So, it is believed that Thomas Edison once gathered together a group of scientists as witnesses and attempted to record the voices of those who had passed away with the help of a great deal of specialized equipment. Bear in mind that this experiment may not have ever happened at all. There's been no plans or schematics for a spirit telephone designed by Thomas Edison ever located. But the basis of the black telephone game relies on the notion that specialized equipment or specialized devices or spirit telephones may not even be necessary to accomplish reaching or communicating with the other side. It's plausible that one could even use a simple rotary telephone to transport oneself to an entirely different world. The catch is, not only does one have to locate a rotary phone, this particular rotary phone has to be black. It must be black. Do not attempt to play the black telephone game with a phone of any other color. It will not work. But then again, if it doesn't work, maybe that's for the best. The black telephone game. How to play. Step 1. Choose your playing field. This game must be played in a building. The building, ideally, a house, with at least 4 rooms and a telephone hookup. Important. The playing field, building, or house, whichever you choose, must be empty of all other people and pets before you begin. Step 2. Gather your supplies. The supplies you will need are as follows: a black rotary telephone, paper, a pencil or pen, a clock, watch, stopwatch, or any other timekeeping device, and 2 pieces of black cord. Both pieces of the black cord must be at least 16 inches long. Step 3. Wait until nightfall. Once night falls, take all of your supplies to your playing field. Set up the telephone anywhere in the playing field. It does not have to be in a room. If your playing field has only 4 rooms, it should not be in a room, but rather in a hallway. Make sure that the phone is hooked up and is capable of receiving and making calls. Take the 2 black cords, paper, and pen or pencil, and place them close by. Keep the clock, watch, or stopwatch, whatever timekeeping device you have, on you at all times. Once you have positioned the supplies that you will need and prepared them, go through the building or your playing field and close all of the curtains. If there are no curtains, block all of the windows. Turn off all the lights. When you return to the area or hallway where you had set up the phone, turn on the lights. Important. This should be the only place in the playing field where the lights are on. Also, make note of the 4 rooms nearest to the telephone. Step 4. Tie the end of one of the black cords to the handset of the telephone. Be sure that it's tied tight. You don't want it to come loose at any point during the game. Then pick up the handset and hold it to your ear. Step 5. Make the call. Using the phone's rotary dial, dial the following sequence: 2 0 4 0 6 0 8 0. Then place the handset back on the cradle of the phone. Next, lift the handset up to your ear again and dial the following sequence: 2 5 5 1 5 8 2 3. Do not hang up. If the line is connected, do not respond to whomever or whatever might be on the other end. Instead, gently lay the handset next to the phone and go to the room closest to the telephone's location. Quietly close the door behind you. Do not make any noise at all. Wait precisely 1 minute. This is where your timekeeping device comes in handy. Use your timekeeping device to keep track of the seconds as they slowly tick by. When that 1 minute is up, open the door, leave the room, and return to the telephone. Remember, do not make any noise. Hang up the phone by placing the handset back on the cradle of the phone. Then pick up the handset and repeat the dialing procedure from step 5. Holding the handset to your ear, dial 2040680. Hang up. Pick up the handset again. Dial 2551583. Lay the handset next to the telephone. Again, do not hang up. And if the line is connected, do not respond to whomever or whatever is on the other line. This time, after you have laid down the handset, go to the second closest room to the telephone's location. Close the door behind you, and once again, wait for 1 minute. And remember, do not make any noise. Step 7. When the 1 minute is up, open the door, exit the room, return to the telephone, hang it up. Then repeat the dialing sequence again. You do remember the sequence. After you have laid the handset next to the telephone, go to the third closest room, close the door behind you, and wait for 1 minute. You already know, do not make any noise. Step 8. When the 1 minute is up, open the door, exit the room, return to the telephone. Hang it up by placing the handset on the cradle. But this time, when you pick up the handset again, do not follow the dialing procedure laid out in the previous step 5. Instead, dial the following sequence: 22822. Lay down the handset next to the phone. Pick up the second black cord. This is the cord not tied to the telephone already. Along with the second black cord, pick up the paper and the pen or pencil. Take these supplies to the fourth closest room to the telephone's location. But this time, before you enter the fourth room, close your eyes. Once your eyes are closed, enter the room. Close the door behind you. Step 9. Once you are inside, tie the black cord into a loop and knot it. Important, you must tie this knot with your eyes closed. When you are finished, hang the knotted cord on the doorknob by its loop. You may open your eyes, but do not speak. Do not make any noise. Step 10. Open the curtains in the room. Look at the windows. What color are they? If the panes of the window have turned black, the ritual has succeeded. Congrats. You are in the other world. So now that you're there, what will you do while you are there? That, of course, is up to you. However, Bear in mind, it's not recommended that you leave the room. There's no telling what may happen to you if you do. So take a look around, but don't get too comfortable and keep your wits about you. Step 11. To return to your own world, take a good long look around the room. You're looking for a number, an 8-digit number. It will be somewhere in the room, but bear in mind, it may not be easy to find. Look everywhere. Leave no corner or stone unturned. When you find that number, use the pen or pencil, whatever you brought with you, to write it down on the piece of paper. You should also try to commit it to memory. Put the paper safely in your pocket. Trust me, you're going to need it again later. Then, go to the door. Grasp both the doorknob and the cord hanging from it with your hands. Close your eyes. Repeat the 8-digit number to yourself in your mind. Visualize it if it helps. Some who have tried the ritual find the mental image useful. Important. If you hear a voice speaking to you, do not answer it. Remain silent. Keep repeating the 8-digit number to yourself in your head. Important. If you feel something pulling at you, do not respond to it. Hold onto the doorknob as tightly as you can. Do not let go. Keep repeating that number to yourself. Repeat it to yourself half a dozen, 2 dozen times, 100 times, as many times as it takes. When you feel that it's the right time, let your mind fall still. You may then open the door, then open your eyes. Move from room to room throughout your home or playing field. Open the curtains in each room as you go. Important. If the window panes have returned to normal, you have successfully made the return trip. You have 1 week, and this is important, you have 1 week to burn the piece of paper on which you wrote the 8-digit number. But sooner is better. Save the ashes of the paper. It's recommended that you wrap up the ashes in a piece of white paper. From this point forward, carry the ashes with you wherever you go. If, however, when you check the windows and the panes are still black, well, you might want to settle in because you're in for a longer visit than you had originally planned. Additional information on the ritual. In some variations of the black telephone game, there are a few adjustments that can be made to the dialing procedure that allows the player, instead of using the telephone itself to travel, they can use the telephone to call a sort of taxi that will take them on the other side. So here are the steps, or adjustments I should say, for the ritual. Prior to dialing the first number, count to the number 13. Then, without picking up the handset, use the rotary dial to call the number 204-96888. Next, tie one black cord on the handset. Once the cord is securely tied to the handset, pick up the handset using the cord only and dial the number 255-1588 823. Count to 13 again. Lay the handset down next to the phone. Lean down so your mouth is near the receiver and ask for a taxi cab. Then untie the first black cord. Pick up the second black cord and tie the second black cord to the handset. Burn the first one to ashes as soon as you can. At this point, once you've burned the first cord, if you look out the window, you should see a black taxi cab waiting for you outside. If you like, and if you so desire, you may climb into it. See where it takes you. Important, do not speak to the driver. He's not the one for idle conversation. The only thing you should ever say to him is an indication that you reached your destination. Use this only when you're ready to end your trip. When you return home, use the telephone to call the number 2000082. When the call is answered, thank the driver for the ride. Then untie the second black cord and burn it the same way you did the first, and bury the ashes of both cords in the ground. Whichever journey you decide to take, whether it be the telephone or the taxi, depends on what your desire is and what you want out of the trip. Just bear in mind, when you return, you may not be the same person that you were when you left. The black telephone ritual is rumored to have started around the same time as the elevator ritual, and Closet to Another World. Closet to Another World, we'll go over that in a later episode. But it is said to originate on the internet around the same time as those two internet rituals. I thought the coolest component about the black telephone game is the rotary phone, because not many people own one, and some people, depending on your age, may not even know what a rotary phone is. So rotary phone is pretty much those phones that you see in old movies that have the circle where you push the button and it goes around. That's what a rotary phone is. So it's really cool component, I feel. So if you are seeking to play this game, you have to kind of go through the hoops as to find a rotary phone. But as more vintage stuff comes back into style and into fashion, it may not be that hard to find one after all. One thing that I found kind of creepy, well, I'm not gonna say creepy, kind of terrifying, is that with the white paper that you use to write the number down that you get from your trip, you have to pretty much keep those ashes with you wherever you go. So you have to pretty much remember to take it with you, be sure not to leave it. And unfortunately, we weren't able to get any information as to what happens if you do not bring it with you. It's possible that you may fall back into the other side or something may happen. I wish we could have got more information on that, but it's just recommended and highly recommended that you just keep those with you wherever you go, in your purse, pocket, whatever. Now, the different variation with the taxi I thought was really cool. Having a taxi pull up, but I wish with the taxi we could have gotten more as to what you would see or what you would expect or anticipate with the room, we know, with the black window panes and things like that, but it didn't really get into detail as to what you actually see or experience. So I won't be finding out for myself because I won't be trying this ritual, but if anyone does try it, please let us know because we would like to know exactly what happens. That's the thing with rituals, is that they do gain popularity online, but there's not really much known as to what happens or what goes on during the trip. Just more so that it's dangerous, just the fact that you're putting yourself in a situation when you may be crossing over to another plane or invoking something otherworldly. That's the danger of it. But I think that's also what entices people to kind of participate in these type of rituals and things like that. So it's really cool nonetheless. And we plan on sharing more with you guys in these upcoming weeks of September. So until then, we'll see you next Tuesday for another episode of Beyond the Bazaar. Have a great night, and as always, stay bizarre.